Hey, everybody, I'm John Osborne, and this is the Hall of Heroes History Podcast, along with my cohort here, Alan Stewart, the brainiac of all things comic book. You plug him in, you let him go, and he just keeps on going. So we're here actually to talk about something really cool, and we feel like it's long enough. It's been out long enough to talk about the Superman movie, and we can just put all the spoilers. I'll say that up front. We'll probably put it on the thing in bold print. Spoiler alert. So we're not going to just talk. We won't be just talking about the movie. We'll be talking a little bit in depth on some of the things that we did get to see in the movie, but we will be talking about the movie. It was very well done. I really enjoyed it. Are you going to say anything, or do I have to?
You got to pull my string.
I'm not touching you. Anyways, yeah, I thought it was absolutely amazing. I had a really good time during it. There was so many different things that I've written down, and we're going to touch on a bunch of different things today. But let's get your quick review, what you liked about it, and then we'll start talking about some of the things that we have here on the table.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I'll tell you this. So, a lot of the fans, my wife Beth Ann. A lot of them know her as Catwoman. She's big in Batman, X-Men universe. She's not a big fan of the Superman universe.
Sure.
But, we went and saw it, and she really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And for me, I'll tell you this, and for old guys like me, which is probably the majority of our audience.
Probably.
I will say this. The Superman movie, this was probably the best Superman movie since the first 2 Christopher Reeve films, not 3 and 4 because those were terrible.
No, but 1 and 2 were
and 2 were fantastic. This is probably the best Superman movie since the original Christopher Reeve films, in my opinion. And I'm old enough that I have seen all of them in the theaters when they came out.
Okay. So it hits that nostalgia button for you to go back that far.
Yep.
Is it the colors? Is it the story? Is it the, you know what I mean? Is it all of it?
Right.
But what kind of stood out to you that you were just like, oh wow, this kind of brings me back to that part of it.
Well, here's the thing, and actually Beth Ann brought this up to me when we talked about it afterwards. She just felt that, and I agree with her opinion, and this answers the question.
Sure.
She felt like the last several Superman movies have been darker.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, the dark thing, that's Batman's.
Right.
That's Batman's area. Superman is wholesome and pure and full of hope and light and positive and always does the right thing. And I think they did that very well in the Christopher Reeve films. They did it very well with the new Superman movie.
Yeah.
It kind of reminded you of those more wholesome and pure Superman films.
Yeah, it brings you back to that. And I agree. Hey, listen, if you like the Snyderverse, no argument. It was good. It was fun for its time and for what it was for.
Oh, yeah,
That's
and I'm not knocking
Superman
that at all.
Yeah. But yeah, we are more likely to be, hit by nostalgia with a brighter colored Superman.
Yes, exactly.
So I think that was a big deal. Yeah. I loved, what's her name? Rachel Bosnia.
Lois.
Bosnian, something like that.
Hi, I'm Rachel Brosnahan.
Anyways, she's amazing. But she was also in a TV show called The Marvelous Miss Maisel,
which was fantastic.
An amazing show.
I knew you have seen that as a comedian. You have to see that.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing. Right. So she does a great job. I mean, everyone was cast near perfect.
Oh yeah.
This has got to be. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is the best Lex Luthor we've ever had, in my opinion. Okay. I can't even think you can. If you say Gene Hackman, I'm out of here.
He's in my top 3.
Okay.
I tell you what, it was.
Are you going to go Michael Rosenbaum?
Michael Rosenbaum is probably is probably my favorite.
Okay.
But the Lex here was pretty damn good. It's kind of a toss up for me between the two of them now. I mean, Rosenbaum has always been my favorite. And maybe just because I've met him a couple of times and he's a super nice guy.
Sure.
Maybe that's where part of it is. But I tell you, the guy that played Lex, and I always forget actors' names, unless I've actually met them. But the guy that played Lex, if you saw him in Peter the Great, he was amazing.
Yeah.
And he was an X-Men.
Right.
As the Beast.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, if you watch him in Henry the Great, he's just amazing. So I mean, if you
Okay.
loved the guy that played Lex Luthor, watch Peter the Great. He's pretty
Okay.
good.
All right.
Series,
So,
yeah.
some really cool things. I enjoyed the storyline. I liked it like it was like opening a comic book and being just thrust into it. And what I mean by that is that when you open a comic book, there can be other superheroes in that comic book that they run into, that they have an acquaintance with. They don't necessarily have to move the story along,
Right.
as long as they're there. And then and they actually helped a lot move the story along with their little pieces of information that they had, their help.
A lot of Easter eggs.
A lot of little Easter eggs as you went through the movie. But so when you're reading a comic book, you see these things, and the main character can run into all these different people and they still finish the story. And that's exactly what happened in this Superman movie.
Right.
That's why I think it was the most comic book superhero movie that we've seen in a long time.
Yep, exactly.
They went ahead and said, you know what? We know you know about Superman. We don't need the origin story.
Right.
We know you know about Green Lantern, and if you don't know about Mr. Terrific, you'll just have to catch up.
Yeah.
So there's
Same thing with Metamorpho. Same thing with Hawkgirl,
I mean, Metamorpho is such a deep dive.
He was probably one of my favorite additional characters.
Yeah.
And part of that is because we had such an amazing opportunity. Those of you that came to Hall of Heroes Comic-Con this year, I hope you came and met Anthony. I mean, we had Anthony Kerrigan here a month before the film came out. We do still have some autographed photos from Anthony here in the gift shop at the museum. We have a couple of posters, Superman posters.
Yep, that he signed.
Yep, we actually have our DC Day coming up August 30th. And we're actually going to do a drawing for one of these autographed Superman posters, so you can win one of these that Anthony signed.
Yeah.
And it's tough. I mean, unless you're at San Diego Con, you're probably not going to meet any of these guys and get anything autographed from the movie.
Right.
But we do have some of that stuff here for sale at the museum. One of the things that I thought was a little hokey, but I thought they did it really well that I enjoyed was this guy.
Oh, Crypto.
Crypto.
It's the scene stealer.
Yeah, he was, but it was so great. It actually, and a lot of people may not know this because they don't normally do this in movies.
Right.
But I saw this in the Superman movie, and then our next episode, we're going to talk about the new Fantastic Four movie. Both of them are bringing in the goofy, like, pet sidekicks and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't normally do that in movies, but they always did it in cartoons.
Right.
I mean, you got Scooby-Doo, Scrappy-Doo, you got the monkey, Gleek with the Wonder Twins.
Oh,
you got Wonder Dog with Wendy and Marvin from Super Friends.
Yeah.
You got Miss Lion from Spider-Man's Amazing Friends.
You have something to tie the kid in to connect with.
Exactly.
And that's what they did with Crypto. And so they bring Crypto in. When does Crypto in the comics, when does he arrive?
So Crypto has been around for a long time.
And I know that, but I don't think a lot of people realize
they don't.
that.
So this is a reprint of the first Prince of Crypto. It's from 1955.
Right.
And we actually don't have an original in our museum's collection. We have the second appearance of Crypto, which is also the same year, 1955, right here. So this is the original. This is the reprint of his first appearance.
Where is Crypto coming from?
So Crypto came from Krypton as well.
Well, I know that, but I'm saying like he hasn't been around, and then all of a sudden he's around.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, where did he come from?
It depends on, so in the comic books, Crypto shows up when Superboy is Superboy, like he's his early teens. That's when Crypto shows up.
Gotcha.
And you kind of tell from the comic book, I mean, he's probably like 12, 13.
Yeah, 13, 14.
In that comic book. And so Crypto shows up. And what is weird, though, is Crypto was sent in the rocket first. So when Jor-El, Superman's father, sent the test rocket out before he actually sent the baby, he did a test, and Crypto was the test. And so Crypto, for some reason, went a different direction. And so he didn't show up till years later on Earth. And I don't know, I think they've described it as like a wormhole or a time travel or something.
Yeah.
And same thing happened to Supergirl.
Yeah.
She was a teen when she left, and Superboy was a baby. And then she shows up when Superman's an adult. Yeah. And she's still a teen. And so it's kind of the same thing. So same thing that happened to her is what happened to Crypto.
And here's the thing. Like, you could tell me exactly what happened, that it's a wormhole or it's a black hole or they went through that. I don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, just it's part of the story.
It is.
And
it
you don't
is,
have
yeah.
to get, if you're going to get scientific in a
Right.
fantasy world,
Yeah.
just leave me out of it.
I tell you what, though, you would be surprised the number of scientists that got into science by reading stuff like that.
No, and I'm sure, and because
Yeah.
it's going to open up your mind, and you're going to
It
be
does,
thinking about stuff like that.
exactly,
I get
Yeah.
that, but like when
Right.
we're talking about it, and you're like, well, this is how they did this, and this is how they got to here, and I'm
Right.
like, yeah, I don't care. You know, they were in
This is about the
stasis,
history.
right? Yeah.
We do care about
No, you're right. No, I care about the history of it,
Right?
but the logistics.
Sure. And a lot of people aren't familiar with crypto, but crypto has been around in the comics since 1955. He also was in the Superboy cartoon by Filmation in the 60s.
Right.
You know, and he was, again, kind of goes back to where I'm saying they're kind of modeling the cartoon stuff, the
Right.
cartoon kind of, you know, the map.
Yeah.
You know, how they would do cartoons with, you know, because they did that with crypto, and
Yeah.
now they're doing it in the movie.
Which is very cool.
It's very, very cool.
Yeah.
And my guess is that, they probably remembered, and I'm not sure the director how old he is,
Yeah.
but maybe he remembers the cartoons, and that's why he decided on crypto, because
Oh, yeah,
he
maybe.
grew up with that.
Well,
I love crypto,
I think most of it was based on All Star Superman.
Okay.
And
Okay.
and I think Crypto's in All Star
No,
Superman.
he is.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
All right. That makes
there's a
sense
lot of
then.
cool things. We only have a couple minutes left, but I wanted to
Right.
hit some of these main points
Yeah.
that we get to see in Superman, which is really cool.
Mhm.
First and foremost, I bump my wife because the movie starts and there's Bradley Cooper, and I'm like, I go, hey, look, it's Bradley Cooper, and she goes, what? She doesn't hear very well,
Okay.
or she doesn't pay attention.
She just ignores you.
She just ignores me. So, and that's fine.
Right.
But then we get done, and she goes, "What was it that you told me?" I go, "Yeah, I was just mentioning that it was Bradley Cooper, but I'm sure you saw that." She goes, "Where was Bradley Cooper?" And I go, "He's at the beginning. He's his dad."
Right.
And she was like, "I didn't notice that." And then
Uh-huh.
I talked to another friend of mine and told him that Bradley Cooper was in it, and I know he knows comic books and movies and stuff like that. And he
Right.
goes, "Where was Bradley Cooper?" And I'm like, "Am I taking crazy pills? Like this? He's in it. He's Jor-El."
Right.
So, anyways, there's that. There's the Peacemaker
Mhm.
makes an appearance,
Right,
which
he
was
does.
absolutely
That was
great.
funny. Yep.
Which I can't. By the way, next month, Peacemaker season 2 comes out,
Yep.
and I saw the trailer for it yesterday, and I freaked out. It's going to be great. Easter eggs, stuff that we had in there. Will Reeve
Yep. Mm-hmm.
plays a reporter, which in
TV reporter.
in real life he is an
He
ABC
is, that's
TV
right.
reporter.
Yep.
So that was kind of cool.
Yep.
And like I don't know if you consider it an Easter egg or paying homage to the
I would
John
say
Williams
I
score.
think it's more homage. Yeah.
Yeah, the John Williams score.
Yep. Mhm.
Yeah, and it's all guitared out. And It's
Right.
really cool.
Yeah.
The bowl cut for Guy Gardner.
They did such a great job with Guy Gardner. He was. Yeah.
You couldn't have messed it up with Fillion. Like it's absolutely
right. Exactly.
you couldn't have messed that up.
So Easter egg. Do you know who Kalex was, the robot in the fortress?
Oh, there was a couple of voiceovers for the different robots. But one
I
of them
thought it
was
the same one.
Well, there was Michael Rooker was one of the robot voices,
Oh, I didn't know that. That's not the one
and
I was
old
thinking.
girl who plays Mantis is one of the voices,
Oh, okay.
and then what's his name?
Alan Tudyk was the
And,
main.
yeah.
Was the main one.
Yes, Alan
Uh-huh.
Tudyk was
Yep.
the main one, and he's just so great. I love he was Mr. Nobody in
Right.
Doom Patrol.
Yep.
He is one of my
Resident Alien,
favorite.
Of course, Resident Alien is.
Oh
great
yeah,
series.
that's a big deal, right? Yeah.
Season 4 is out right now.
Yeah.
So
In my head, he'll always be what is King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I absolutely love that movie. So some other things. They do the Chief. He calls him Chief,
Right.
and he says,
uh-huh.
"Don't call me Chief."
Yep.
And
Always
he's been
did that in
doing
the
that,
comics,
in but he also did it back in the 50s TV show.
Well, he did it in the Christopher Reeve films as well.
Yes, he
Yep.
did that. Don't call me
Yep.
Chief. Don't
Yep.
call me Chief.
They did it on Lois and Clark.
Yes. Yeah, they've done
they've
that
done that in a lot of
multiple
the-
times. I
Yep.
love when they do stuff like that.
Exactly,
Just
yeah.
carry on the joke for
Oh, yeah,
years. I don't care.
exactly.
It's
That's
fun.
great.
Easter eggs also lots of when during the fight scenes downtown. Look at the street names.
Exactly.
Jurgens. Alex
Yeah.
Ross,
Mhm.
Mark Wade.
Yeah,
I think they even did Margot Kidder.
they did. I did
There was
sketch one of those.
there's
Yes.
one of those. They did the Big Belly Burger.
Yeah, they did Siegel and Schuster.
Siegel and
They did
Schuster.
Schuster
Yeah.
Lane or Schuster Avenue or something. I remember
Yep.
seeing that. Yeah,
The Big Belly Burger, which is
Yep.
big in
And the
DC
comics.
Comics.
Yep.
Michael Rosenbaum was in it.
Yep.
But he does a voice for one of the Raptor like SWAT guys.
Right.
So you don't
exactly,
see his face, but he's
Right.
in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's all different kinds of people
Yeah.
in there, and even James Gunn brought people from Guardians of the Galaxy
Mhm. Oh yeah.
and Nathan Fillion, who he's done like 15 movies with or
Right,
something. I don't know,
exactly,
but he's
yeah.
always there.
Yeah.
But one of my big highlights is Mr. Terrific.
Mhm.
Holy cow, we got to wrap it up here pretty soon.
Yep.
But Mr. Terrific, I thought that Edie did a great job of playing him. He
Yeah.
looks, I mean, it looks like he's ripped from the comic books.
Right.
And that fight scene that he has
Mhm.
was absolutely amazing. It was so much fun.
Now, Hot Girl. We did mention Hot Girl.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, if you've seen The Last of Us,
Yes.
she's in that.
Okay. I have
she's,
not.
which is really good because then we have Mr. Fantastic. We're talking about next episode was also in that.
Right.
So you got two actor and actress from those two
That's cool.
that are together in that are in the two big summer blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. Oh, and here's one that's kind of a weird is Chocos cookies.
Yes.
They're basically Oreos for DC,
Mhm.
and they are whose favorite cookie?
Martian Manhunter.
Martian Manhunter's
Yeah.
favorite cookie. So I hope we get to see Martian
I think
Manhunter.
we'll see a Martian Manhunter.
I think we'll see him. I think
Yeah.
we'll see Bizarro. Once Ultraman got knocked into that black hole,
Right.
I think he's coming. He's going to a different universe. He's going
Right.
to come back as Bizarro, discolored.
Right.
You know, maybe they'll do
Yeah,
that.
the whole
opposite.
Ultraman thing confused me because the Ultraman in the comics is the evil Superman from Earth 3, where there's
Right.
the evil
The
Justice
crime
League.
syndicate.
The crime syndicate.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so but he took a little bit. I mean,
Took some
of all-
liberties
he
with
took
that.
some liberties
Yeah.
with a couple of things.
Yeah.
Mainly the story of the parents sending him to restart Krypton,
Yes.
and so that was a big turn on its head. And
Right.
I was like, "Whoa,
Yeah, that's never been in the comics.
That's
yeah.
never been there." But you
Yeah.
know what? I like that he put his own thing in, because when you write a comic book, different guys who are different
Mm-hmm.
authors of comic, they have taken liberties and they've changed stories before, and it's
Exactly.
completely okay because you didn't really change the character.
Right.
He
exactly.
stays Mr. Do-gooder.
Yep.
Right?
Exactly.
He is the giant Boy Scout.
Yeah.
He is always wanting to do good, which freaks people out that he wants to do good because it's the right thing to do.
Right. Exactly.
So I think that was amazing. Anything else that we might want to add before we take off?
No, we should, yeah, I think we're probably about out of time, and just make sure to come see us August 30th for our DC Day.
we are going to have what here?
We're going to have the 89 Batmobile here
Yes.
that day, and we're going to do a drawing for one of the autographed Superman movie posters by Anthony Kerrigan, who played Metamorpho. If you didn't get a chance to see him at Comic-Con, you can get an autographed movie poster.
Yeah. So for Alan, I am John, and this has been the Hall of Heroes History Podcast. We thank you guys for watching, listening, like, subscribe, do all the cool things on there. Just start pushing buttons and see what happens. So we'll be back, later on with another really cool episode. I think we're going to tackle the Fantastic Four next.
And we're talking about Herbie the Robot.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool. Hall of Heroes Podcast.